My name is Risa John Peters, and I would like to thank everyone for coming this morning for this very important and exciting presentation. I would like to establish protocol by acknowledging the presence of Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, the Prime Minister, the Honorable Emmalin Pierre, Minister of Education, Human Resource Development, Information and Religious Affairs, Honorable Clarice Modest Cohen, Minister of Tourism and Civil Aviation, Mr. Naquib Sawiris, owner, Silver Sands Grenada, and founding partner of the West Indies School of Hospitality, Mr. Leo Garbutt, President of the Grenada Hotel and Tourism Association, Mr. Barry Collymore, founding partner of INNOVATE Inc. and the West Indies School of Hospitality, the executive members of Grenada Hotel and Tourism Association and Grenada Tourism Authority, representatives from the Chamber of Commerce, hotel and hospitality team members, principals, teachers and students, members of the media. To start off today's proceedings, I would like to invite Mr. Jerome Gordon. He is a former hospitality student of the T.A. Marshall Community College and a current hospitality employee.
Thank you, Lady Risa. Good morning, everybody. With protocol already established, shall we all stand for prayer? Let us pray. Dearest Heavenly Father, Thou art mighty, the Master Creator, the ruler over all that is, for nothing was made that wasn't fashioned in the palms of your hands. Today, we show you gratitude for all that you continue to do on our behalves, for providing protection from harm, for granting us wisdom and to seek knowledge we need to keep our minds and bodies healthy. We are grateful for the way that you persist in bestowing continued guidance, wisdom, and understanding to our great leaders of our tri-island state. For it is corollary to this leadership, God, that Grenada continues to maintain homeostasis in the face of a pandemic. Thank you. This morning, as we have gathered here on the grounds of the picturesque Silver Sands Hotel to launch a program designed to elevate our nation through structured education, we pray that the efforts of all those involved in the creation of this program will find satisfaction as the fruits of their labor come to fruition. God, now that these proceedings have commenced, we pray that every hitch will come with a quick solution. Every issue will be defeated, and at the end of our time together, we can truly sing the praises of the organizers of this program as we sing the praises of the phenomenal work they have done. God, this morning, it is with your blessings and our gratitude that we pray. In your holy and awesome name. Amen. Thank you.
I would like to now invite Mr. Barry Collymore, the co-founder of INNOVATE Inc., to give the very special announcement that we're all here to witness.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Risa. And good morning to everyone. Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, Prime Minister of Grenada. Honorable Emmalin Pierre, Minister of Education, Human Resource Development, Information and Religious Affairs. Honorable Clarice Modest Cohen, Minister of Tourism and Civil Aviation, and my minister with another hat that I wear at the GTA. Mr. Naquib Sawiris, owner of Silver Sands Grenada and founding partner of the West Indies School of Hospitality. Mr. Leo Garbutt, president of the GHTA, executive members of the GHTA, my colleagues on the GTA board, representatives from the Chamber of Commerce. I see Nicholas George here, who also doubles as a member of the Chamber of Commerce. Hotel and hospitality team members. I'm particularly happy to have teachers and students from TAMCC, St. David's Secondary, Anglican High, and Happy Hill here. They are the future, ladies and gentlemen. So we want to say a special welcome to them. They are, what we are doing here, they are probably the most important component of what we're doing. And then, of course, members of the media, without who nobody would know about it, nobody would be aware of it. So the role of the media is extremely important in what we're doing. So I'm happy to have my colleagues from the media here as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning's announcement, they say if you want to be successful in things, you have to have the right prayers, which we've just had. I want to congratulate Brother Jerome for a really inspiring prayer session. So you've got to have the right prayers, the right partners, and they say you have to have the right amount of pressure if you want to be successful. And this morning I wanted to announce, and I'm really happy that we have come together to form the West Indies School of Hospitality in collaboration with ECORNELL University. It is a big thing for Grenada and the Caribbean, and let me explain what we are doing. About a year ago, my partner in INNOVATE, Danny Fakri, who is a Grenadian, a very successful Grenadian businessman, we set out to see how could we do meaningful things that would impact the lives of persons here, and how could we do something that would indeed bring more productivity, and how could we improve the tourism sector. And we thought that one of the things that we needed to look at was a training institution. How do we get, we already have a training institution at the secondary and tertiary level, but how could we do something at more of the professional level so that persons already working in the hospitality industry and in the service industry throughout Grenada could get opportunities for training. And Danny said, Barry, you have to discuss this with Naquib. I think it's a great idea. And I remember sitting with Naquib at right here at Silver Sands, and we discussed the idea. And he said, Barry, and I said, we are thinking of doing this, and we have a few universities that we think we could get on board. Cornell would be the best of them, and then we went through a list of others. And he said, if you get Cornell, then I'm on board. So he only wanted the best, and he said, no pressure, Barry, but if you get Cornell, I'm on board. So that was the right amount of pressure, and so what we have put together here is an interesting program. It's a program which allows persons in the hospitality and service sector to get access to ECORNELL courses, which are indeed the best in the world. So, for instance, just say you are a chef, or you are a supervisor, or you are a waiter. You are able now, through your hotel, or through your restaurant, or through your other whatever service industry, part of the service industry you are in, you are able to access education, ECORNELL education, ECORNELL courses, and courses that will be directly relevant and impactful for you, for the course of work that you are in. Now, it wasn't just enough for us to put the program together. We also had to ensure that people in the hospitality sector could indeed access it. So with Naquib's help, we have established a fund through INNOVATE, which will offer these courses at 100% scholarships. Every year, we will be offering 6,000 courses to the hospitality sector in Grenada and possibly the Caribbean. Up to 6,000 courses per year at all levels. I'm looking through the course list. There are courses, there are general managers courses, there are supervisors courses. I've seen courses, there are wines of France, wines of Spain, chef courses. There are all kinds of different ECORNELL courses. And what that means now is that owners of businesses and supervisors and so on can sit with our team and say, we would like to improve service, or we would like to improve knowledge in this area, and we will design a course path for you with a set number of staff to ensure that you can achieve that objective. It's really a very new and innovative way of doing it. It's a way of improving education throughout the hospitality sector. And because the courses are free, there are no barriers to access for persons through the hospitality sector. So we think it's a win-win. We think that it will improve the competitiveness and the knowledge of the workforce, and we think that it is something that everyone can benefit from. Now, while I'm here, and we don't have a vote of thanks on the program, so I'm just gonna use this opportunity to thank my partners, Naquib and Danny, for sharing the vision and helping me develop the vision, and we are ready to launch now from today. I also want to thank Minister Modeste Kerwin for her supportive role in this whole thing, along with Minister Pierre. I want to thank Prime Minister Mitchell, who during the course of the year, about a year and a half that we've been developing this thing, he never forgot to remind me during our conversations. He said, "Barry, how is that Cornell thing going? Have you guys doing that?" And he would always remind me and always how important it is, and how important it is to get this thing launched. And I also want to thank as well the team here at Silver Sands, led by Norel, and the EME team led by Nikki and Risa, for the stellar event that you guys have put on here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm available after this, especially to the media, if you have more questions. But in a nutshell, we have a Cornell program, an ECORNELL program here in Grenada. It is accessible by all tourism, leisure, staff, and hotel owners and workers, employees, and it is available at all different levels. There are all different levels of courses which will be available. And we think this is a big plus, and we're very happy to announce it this morning. I also want to thank the ECORNELL team, led by Dean Suskin and Paul Krause. And Paul couldn't be here this morning, but he thought that it was Cornell faculty aren't allowed to travel as yet because of the pandemic. It's a very serious situation there, and they are indeed ensuring that they have all of the right protocols and so on in place. But he thought it was so important that he sent a message, a video message, and I'd like now if Richie, if you can play that message. This is the head of ECORNELL, Paul Krause, his message to us on this launch day. And with that, I'm going to take my seat. I want to thank everyone again for coming, and again, I want to stress that the attendance here of of young people from TAMCC and the secondary schools is so important, because they are indeed will be the important drivers for not just the tourism industry, but for Grenada going forward. So thank you again, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them at the end. Thank you.
I'm Paul Krause, Vice Provost of External Education at Cornell University, and I'm responsible for the professional development programs offered through ECORNELL. I'm passionate about education and education in the hospitality space, and I'm particularly passionate about education that provides opportunities to individuals to improve their skill set and their careers and ultimately their lives. This all translates into a rewarding experience not only for the individual, but for hospitality guests and the entire local economy. We all know that the hospitality space has had a really difficult year, and I'm excited to see signs that that's improving a bit. The Cornell team has been working with INNOVATE's founders and stakeholders to ensure that hospitality employees in Grenada and other areas of the Caribbean are positioned for success. Cornell's programs are designed by Cornell University's Hotel School faculty, who are leading researchers and experts and thought leaders in the hospitality space. We have successfully supported professional development in hospitality for decades, and our programs cover every area important to hospitality, including service excellence, food and beverage, finance, leadership, and marketing. This collaboration is particularly exciting for us as we look forward to supporting you, your education, in a way that will impact positively individuals and the entire local economy. Enjoy your time together, and I hope to meet you in person soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Collymore and Mr. Krause, digitally. At this time, I would like to invite to the podium Mr. Sawiris, owner of Silver Sands and a founding partner of the West Indies School of Hospitality.
First, I want to welcome everybody here. I think God has been very gracious to Grenada. He has given it two things which are very rare. The beauty of its nature, but more important is the beauty of its people. The people here when I first landed in this island, I thought they were from another planet, because people were extremely sweet, nice, cordial. They're always they express a lot of happiness, and the way they talk to everybody is really very hospitable. So it's the first ingredient of hospitality, you know, that when someone comes to an island, he feels this kind of kindness and sweetness, you know. I have hardly seen it anywhere else, you know, and therefore I'm very emotional about Grenada and a big, let's say, supporter. So when Barry came with this idea that we should start the school, so I said I'll make it impossible for him so I don't need to chip in the money at the end, you know. So I thought, if you bring, he mentioned Cornell in the list. I said, okay, if you bring Cornell, we're in. And here it is, he got them in. But I'm not, jokes aside, you know, I'm very happy because, okay, first on the extent of being labeled as self-praising, our staff and Silver Sands here, they actually don't need Cornell. They are top of the line. I've been here, staying here weeks and weeks, and I watched how they treat every single guest, not just me because I'm the owner or anything. No, they are really top of it, whether it's the cook or the reception or the service or the rooms. Everybody here is very devoted, very accurate with his work, responsive. Barry, you won't get any candidates from Silver Sands, you know, which is also good news because we want to leave room to the others, especially that we are embarking on a very, I would say, challenging investment theory. The theory says that the only way to bring Grenada as a main attraction island and compete against the spoiled Barbados or St. Bart or Aruba or all these other islands is we have to increase the number of hotel rooms. And why? Because the airlines are not flying enough to Grenada on the excuse that there are not enough hotel rooms. The banks here, they don't lend, so that's another problem. So any investor has to really put all the money from his pocket, which reduces his returns on his investment, which is a big problem. But somehow we have embarked on this trip, and there is no going back. So we have plans to build. We have 3 properties under which we intend to build at least 4 to 5 more hotels. The first one being tomorrow. I hope if we get the planning permission today, which we're expecting, we will be putting the ground stone tomorrow for Beach House. And so Barry, all the stuff from Beach House will be your clients for your 6,000 course. So reserve some space there. But you have 2-3 years before we employ, or 2 years before we employ people. So you have time to take the others on board. We will not be asking for any special treatment, so we just want to be like everybody. And we have never asked for any special treatment since we came to this island, because we don't want to be perceived as someone asking for anything extra. I mean, there's no need for anything extra here. God has given this island everything it needs, I'm proud to be part of that. I'm someone who has fallen in love with Grenada beyond belief, and I continue to do so, and I'm very grateful. I thank Prime Minister Keith, because he's been very supportive from day one, even though he doubted my intentions first, because he knows why. Because when I first came, he thought that when the problems in my original country, Egypt, are gone, I'm not going to be here, and here I am. I never left, and I will never leave. Thank you very much.
And now, with a message from the Grenada Hotel and Tourism Association, we invite the president, Mr. Leo Garbutt.
Good morning, everyone. Members of our government, friends, members of the Hotel Association, members of every organization that's here, and as Chairman Barry Collymore pointed out, the important people that are here are our future, and our future are our children. One of the things that we all know in Grenada is that when it comes down to it, we think we live in the best country in the Caribbean. So let's take that theme. When it comes to an environment which has got to be created in this country is an environment where people wish to invest. And we've got to be grateful for that. Not only do people want to invest in heavily. I thought I invested a lot in Grenada when I first came here, but I'm minor league compared with the people who are here now, and I'm happy with that as well. So once you think about this is a great environment for people to invest, all of us have got to benefit by that investment, and we have. This hotel, other hotels that are being built here are magnificent, and they are going to be the best. So consequently, when it comes down to what we do, the people who come here to invest, they know the best because they've traveled the world. So they're in the best country. So what's the best training that we can get? Cornell. So Cornell is an amazing organization. We've got an amazing position here in Grenada. We can be really outstanding. What we need to do is to work together. And when we work together, we can create a great deal. Once we fall apart, we don't create anything at all. We have to be positive. We've been through a really negative period in all of our lives. Actually, there's the end of it. We can see the end of the tunnel. And this is a directional, because we're in the best country. We need to create the best and the best in the future. The hotel industry, which involves tourism. Tourism is the biggest industry in the world. when it comes to being the biggest industry in the world, lots of kids, young children, start their first job in a hotel or a bar or in a restaurant. When they do that, we need to make sure that they're good at what they do. With training, we can do that. I'm staggered that what I know is the best country in the world to live in has now got Cornell University and has got investors here who do a magnificent job. And I think we're all very lucky. So be positive about that. Get rid of the negativity. Move forward. Never backwards. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garbutt. I now invite the Minister for Education, Human Resource Development, Religious Affairs and Information, the Honorable Emmalin Pierre, to the podium.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, and it was quite enlightening to hear Brother Garbutt said, forward ever, backward never, in another way. I want to especially recognize our Prime Minister, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, my colleague and sister, Honorable Clarice Modest Cowan, Minister for Tourism, Mr. Naquib, the owner of this facility and of course founding partner of West Indies School of Hospitality, Mr. Leo Garbutt, Barry Collymore, and other members of the Grenada Hotel and Tourism Association and Grenada Tourism Authority, representative of relevant sectors here this morning, of course our teachers, our students, and all specially invited guests, members of the media, good morning to everyone. This morning I want to speak a little bit shortly of the connection of the Ministry of Education to this very important initiative. And I feel excited, I feel actually honored to have the opportunity this morning to be part of this event. The Ministry of Education, our vision and mission specifically for education speaks to quality education, speaks to relevance of education. It speaks to equity, to access. And so this morning, when I look at those three words, access, quality, and relevance, it really defines why I'm standing here this morning. To say to you that we fully endorse and fully support this initiative because of how it aligns with the mission of the Ministry of Education. And so I want to commit publicly the full support of the Ministry of Education this morning. When we speak about what we promote as a Ministry of Education, we promote high values. We promote lifelong learning. Two more reasons why I stand this morning in support of this initiative. We also support investment in education. Brothers and sisters, when we speak about relevance of education, it's a worldwide conversation. Every country looking at its curriculum and its relevance. And while we speak about this in the context of what we're doing here, it doesn't take away the fact that our students, our people, are also questioning the relevance of our education. So many of you may have seen viral, it went, a video of a young man expressing his concern of the amount of time spent in school and how relevant was all that he learned to what he's doing now. And he went on, humorously so, to speak about the amount of licks that he got to remember the dates of the journeys of Christopher Columbus. It reminds me also of the young man who leaves school, drops out of school to get into the fishing industry. We're still speaking relevance of education. It reminds me of the student who recently said to me, I'm a business student. Why am I not allowed to sell in school? Why are we banned from selling stuff? I want to start the practical side of business now. Brothers and sisters, the reality is that we have to continuously review and reform our curriculum to make it more relevant to the times that we are in, and we are committed to this. As a matter of fact, committed to this with support from the OECS Commission. So while I'm not saying this morning that we remove lessons on Christopher Columbus from the curriculum, the historians would be mad at me. I am saying that whatever we support, whatever we do, should see a greater alignment between what we teach our students, greater alignment between what we teach our students in school and what they are able to do in the job market, how they are able to access opportunities in the job market. It speaks also of that alignment between what we teach our students and how prepared they are for life. So it's not just about qualification. It is not just about education, not just about what you know, your knowledge, but how prepared are you to be a good citizen in our country. It speaks also about lifelong learning, of the number of persons who are indeed employed, like many of you here, but who supports the principle that lifelong learning speaks about education from the cradle to the grave, meaning we should never stop. And so with the opportunity that is presented, it aligns perfectly with our mission, our belief in the Ministry of Education. It is why recently I said that we cannot be investing millions of dollars in infrastructural development of our schools and shut them down at 2:30. So it is the very reason why in the coming weeks we are going to be launching a pilot project where two of our schools, St. Andrew's Anglican Secondary School and the Wester Hall Secondary School, as centers of excellence for education, meaning that school does not end at 2:30. Skills development, we recognize, is so extremely important for that alignment with the work environment and the needs, the demands of the job market. And so this morning, I want to recognize especially the work that has been done by the National Training Agency in Grenada to make our people more skilled and more ready for the job market. I also want to specially recognize, and they are represented here, the hospitality department and other departments of TAMCC for what they have been doing. NULO, another perfect example. But this morning, I'm happy to say that we must go beyond. We must go beyond where we are. Another reason why I stand in full support of this initiative. So when we speak about quality education, we must be speaking about the development of skills, talents, attributes, full potential, ensuring that our young people, our people, reach their fullest possible potential. But it's also about empowering our people, which is exactly what we are attempting to do here. Empowering our people to contribute in a greater way to the social and economic advancement of our country. Cornell University is indeed accredited locally by our accreditation board. We have had several studies of young people in Grenada who have undertaken years of studies, only to find out after, putting the cart before the horse, find out after from our accreditation board that the universities are not accredited. And so I wish to publicly say that we have checked and confirmed that it is a valuable opportunity, accredited. We are in the process of working together with the key leaders of this initiative to develop an MOU between the Ministry of Education and this particular project and initiative. So I close by saying I'm indeed thrilled. I'm indeed excited. It is a wonderful opportunity. And all I can say, my final words, Let us not let this opportunity go to waste. I encourage all of our young people unemployed. I encourage all of our people within the hospitality sector to take full advantage of this initiative that can only bear fruits socially and economically and otherwise for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martinique. God bless us and God bless all those who contributed.
Thank you, Minister Pierre, for your words of support. Okay. I now invite the Honorable Minister for Tourism and Civil Aviation, Ms. Clarisse Modeste Cohen.
Good morning to everyone. It is indeed a pleasure to be here, and this is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. I want to recognize our Prime Minister, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Claudius Mitchell. I want to recognize our Minister for Education, my dear sister, Honorable Emmalin Pierre, Mr. Sawiris of this hotel establishment, and the man who brought good news of more hotel room stock. I want to welcome you back to your homeland. I can't welcome you as a stranger, but to be happy to have you here. President of the GHTA, Mr. Leo Garbutt, and all of the other members of the tourism industry. There's a wide array of persons of different backgrounds in the industry. I want to greet you this morning, the students who are here. I'm happy that you are here. This is a good start. And for all other representatives of various business sectors and other invited guests, good morning to all and good morning to the media. Ladies and gentlemen, COVID-19 has devastated the world and tourism in particular. As we all know, most countries depend heavily on tourism, and the Caribbean and Grenada specifically, we're no exception. However, we have not lost hope. We know that tourism has proven to be resilient and has rebounded time after time, crisis after crisis, and we believe that this time will be no exception. And I say this because we know that people love to travel. And surveys, ongoing surveys, recent surveys show that large numbers of persons are just waiting for the right time to travel. There's a little bit of travel here and there, but we're looking for the larger numbers. And I believe that the right time would be qualified when we have that critical mass of persons who are vaccinated and ready to protect themselves and to protect others in the industry and otherwise. Grenada has performed with excellence during this COVID pandemic. Our infection rate has been low. We have contained the virus when we saw a spread. And our protocols, although they might have been a bit troubling here and there to some visitors, but they have been scientific and extremely effective in protecting our citizens and visitors to our shores. We have been recognized globally for our achievement in this area by recognized entities like the CDC, like WTO, which is not the World Trade Organization this time, but the World Tourism Organization, and many others. And it is no wonder that the CNBC, in the section for Global Traveler, listed Grenada as one of the 6 destinations that should be on the radar of persons who are vaccinated. I didn't put that there. It's there for everyone to see, and who wish to travel. And the operative word here, again, is vaccination, vaccinated, or whatever. In April 19, that would have been yesterday, 2021, Forbes spoke in glowing terms of Grenada as a destination, spoke about our lovely beaches, spoke about our cocoa, and so on. And the recognition continues. Grenada continues to be a much sought after destination. And therefore, the launch of this School of Hospitality program is a ray or many rays of sunshine in these dark COVID times. It will provide great opportunities for the young people and others. I'm not defining others, but I'm sure it's not only for young people. It's for persons who are just starting, but also it has a great section for persons who are already in the industry and want to acquire more expertise in the area of hospitality. And so this School of Hospitality, when added to our hospitable nature, and it was spoken about by persons before me, and it is something that continues to be spoken about, the nature of our people, this will take our industry, tourism industry, to a higher level and put Grenada on the cutting edge. We are well recognized already, and this will just add to our recognition. And I have been told that others within the region would have access to Mr. Collymore. I think that's what was said, and we always like it when our neighbors can enjoy some of the benefits that we're having. So this union, this partnership, having this renowned school in our tri-island state will bring untold benefits to this nation. I remember when Leo heard about Cornell, he was so excited. He said, you know, if you graduate from some university and you bring a certificate, people wonder, what is that university? Where is it? What is its output? What is its ratings? And I checked the ratings of ECORNELL, and it's high up there in the 90s. But he said, when you produce a Cornell certificate, nobody asks anything. They just welcome you into the establishment. So this speaks volume from someone who knows the industry. And I am extremely excited and happy that Grenada has been able to attract such a program that would be delivered by such a world-renowned hospitality school. My dear brothers and sisters, this will certainly enhance our industry immensely. And I encourage everyone to embrace the sterling opportunity that it affords us. High commendations are in order to Mr. Barry Collymore and his team for having thought of this and having made this wish a reality. And thanks for all those who played a part in ensuring that today we indeed can celebrate the launch of this partnership here in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. The West Indies School of Hospitality is today a reality, and it is also a wish. So my dear brothers and sisters, it is even more than a wish, and we see before our very eyes our wish for a greater school of hospitality arts, our wish for an opportunity for young people so that they can come into the industry with a background, having acquired the required training to provide quality service to our people. Our service is good, but it needs to be much better. We need to take it up quite a few notches. And I believe that this program with ECORNELL would give us that kind of edge, will give us that opportunity to do so. I want to urge everyone, as my colleague said, and I think I said it before, to embrace this opportunity. Not just the school children, but those who are in the industry, because we have to forever strive to excel and to improve on what we do. And because our nature of being hospitable allows us that advantage already, let us let Cornell take us to the next step. My dear brothers and sisters, it is indeed a pleasure for us in the industry, but moreover, it will bring benefits to the tri-island state of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. I thank you, all of you who made it possible.
Thank you, Minister Cohen, for your words of support and encouragement. I now invite Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, our Prime Minister, to deliver the feature address.
Thank you, Sister Chairperson. To my colleagues, ministers, my sisters, Modeste and Pierre, my brother Sawiris, Leo, my brother and president of the Hotel Association, and of course, other distinguished members of the audience of the hospitality community, the Board of Tourism. Barry, who is, of course, one of the leaders of this important launch here today. And also my young brothers and sisters, the teachers and students. I remember when Barry spoke to me about the possibility of Cornell, and remember that I, of course, spent years as a professor in the United States, so I'm quite aware of the pedigree of that institution, and of course the role it plays in educational life of the United States. And I said, if we're going to have a launch of this nature, we have to have the students and teachers here, at least a representative group. So I'm extremely happy to see our young sisters and brothers and the teachers here today. The message will be, of course, sent by their presence here. You know, the presence of both the Minister of Education and, of course, the Minister of Tourism demonstrates here today of the important significance of this launch. Because the education of our children is so fundamental with respect to the quality of the society that we are developing, and of course we'll be developing. If it is one area that determines the success of our country, it is the base of the education that it has in place. So we treat this with utmost importance. And that's why the resources in education has been given that level of support. And as Leo quite rightly pointed out, with these initiatives and commitments that we have, if we have all of us working together, and that point what Leo said must not be missed, because it seems like a trivial point, but it has enormous significance. If we all players work together, every one of us will be satisfied. If it's about our ego, each of us egos will be satisfied. But if we pull apart in one direction because of our little area of concentration, and we forget the big picture, then clearly we'll be in trouble. Anything, any initiative, any action that any one of us take that affects the education of our children has enormous impact on the quality of our society. And everyone must understand this. So I may think I can extract what I want in this for myself and my group. But in the end, yourself and the group will in fact be marginalized when your society is hurt. that cannot be misunderstood. And it's not about personalities. It is not about egos. It is about what is best for our country. And we can't play with this. And the fact that tourism, as it's known, is so important to the success of our country and the productive activity of our society. The beauty of this country, as was well articulated by Brother Sawiris and others today, you know, how could we not understand the value of tourism and the need to optimize all the opportunities that are before us? And therefore, the presence, as mentioned, of the Minister of Tourism and her words of advice and support here is so crucial. Because we have not, Grenada's potential in tourism has not been tapped at all. The level of opportunities that exist within this industry for this country who God has given us, and that we have not, and sometimes not utilized optimally, cannot be underestimated. And for us to achieve this optimization, it means training of our people will become crucial. It is going to be the fundamental factor that would lift this area and by implication the success. And friends, the beauty is already there. It's well known, the hospitality of our people. It's well known. The spice is there. You can't get away from this. So, if you have that, and then now it is now perceived that with what is taking place regionally and internationally, the virus has consumed all aspects of our lives, every aspect. But Grenada is seen by the international community at all levels have done its job in protecting its citizens and protecting this place. So add that variable to what we already have, the opportunities for expansion of the tourism product. So what it means, we cannot allow that to be affected. Sometimes we make decisions because we think of ourselves and what we want to do in a very selfish way. I make a decision because I will benefit. I am being affected negatively, and therefore we want to make decisions. But in the end, if the virus prevails in our country and is expanded and we all are consumed, we get hurt. Everyone will be hurt. No one will escape. The government is probably number one, but everybody else will get hurt. The entrance back into country of the thousands of university students at St. George's University cannot be underestimated. The implications of thousands of students coming back is not just about the satisfaction of the number of our people on many of these major apartment buildings will now be again back in business, and workers getting back in the job, which are so important. And of course, the ability of the investors, the local Grenadians and others who invested enormous, sometimes the entire family life saving into an area they believe will be good for them and their families, and has been extremely good to them. This investment has been so good for them, continuously so, but the virus affected it. But their entrance back of the 1,000 students will not just only be them. the multiple level of ancillary activities that takes place with thousands of students back in Grenada and business back in. Hotels are going to benefit local hoteliers. The restaurants are going to be positively affected. The farmers are going to be, they have lost a lot of income. The fishermen, they are hurting. It is said, I was at a group of fishermen in the area in my constituency recently, and I noticed whenever I want fish now, I'm getting all quality fish. I want my snapper and the other one, kingfish, which I love. I get it now. I don't have to beg for it now. I don't have to use special prime minister privileges to get. I just send the boys and they get it for me because it's available, right? But they have lost income, you know why? Because a lot of the restaurants abroad and so on closed. A lot of the important stuff from abroad, a lot of the things that would normally go abroad and we're exporting all over the place, they're closed. A few have still been exported. And that's why we can't close the airport. If someone say close the airport, I say something wrong, we need to go to Monge for it to be examined a bit. Can't close the airport because you have few planes coming in. Friends, our vision is clear. And that is well stated historically. We are trying to create, and every day we pursue this goal is in our interest and the country's interest. Of a simple vision. We want a healthy, educated, productive, and prosperous society. It's not necessarily in that order, but health is clearly number one. Because without health, you can't go in our way. So, in my view, Cornell is well recognized as an Ivy League institution, one of the most prestigious in the United States. And with its online platform, it's capable of delivering quality certificate programs, and it was well articulated already what it means when you have a bit of that in your hand. I can therefore easily imagine the significant impact on many of the young people who would get an opportunity on their life in many areas, having a certificate from one of the prime institutions internationally. So I can see exposure of this education opportunity inspiring beneficiaries to seek even more education. It is therefore clear that this hospitality institution will have a far-reaching impact, positive impact on the lives of Grenadians and clearly also, we hope, the Caribbean. Because our ability to have our Caribbean brothers and sisters, it's not only in their best interest, but it's also in Grenada's interest to be a central place from which this platform emanates and opportunities come from. It is true that the tourism and hospitality industry sector has been particularly hard hit by the pandemic. But if we do what we continue to do and stay safe, it will have continuous positive opportunities for this country. Vaccination. And therefore I need to just make a point. I do not speak on any podium in this period without articulating the position of the government. Vaccination is the only way we know now of protecting our livelihood and getting back to business that we want it to be. No matter what area of life, vaccination is crucial. There are a lot of propaganda, a lot of unfortunate information coming out from sometimes unfortunate mouths. Whatever that means, unfortunate mouths. And I could understand how confusing it is. But colleagues, if you have one person getting sick from 5-6 million vaccination, tell me something. You seriously think that is a problem? You walk down the road, I can't knock you down. We have 110 people in Grenada, all right? Last year we had what? 17 or so accidents, deaths. So check that proportion. So it's a higher proportion, far higher. We have vaccination for the flu. People get sick. You don't hear because it becomes so common now, people don't talk. Some people die and you don't even know. So I have taken my first vaccination and I'm getting ready for the second. So we have to move in that direction. If we don't, then it won't be business as usual. It won't be able to get back to where we want to be. So I don't see a problem. So I make the point. And I have stated the position. I don't believe going to Parliament and passing an act to force people to do something to save their own lives make a lot of sense. You go to Parliament, you pass. We have a lot of laws in Parliament that people don't even obey. And we ain't able to do anything about it. That's a fact. Right? So just passing laws and mandating things is not the way to go. Education, moral suasion, and things are necessary. But I do make the qualification because some people misinterpret when I make that point. And they seem to think I'm saying that you can just go and work and nobody can tell you you must vaccinate. If I have a business and vaccination is the key to protecting my business, I have a right to determine who comes in there vaccinated. That's my right. You have a right not to vaccinate, but I have a right also to protect my business. Just as simple as that. Sometimes we only think about our rights and we forget the rights of the other man, the other person. So I had to clarify my position. So St. George's University have decided all its staff must be vaccinated. You're going to tell them no? You ain't doing it? And you want to keep the job? Well, my friend, I wish you luck. That's all I can say. I wish you luck. Maybe too nice, and you could afford to do all the work. But I can't tell you that. I can't tell you. So colleagues and friends, I want a word to spread. People have a right to protect their businesses and their facilities and whatever, if it's educational, tourism product, hotel, whatever they are. That is the right of the individual. But your right not to vaccinate is also sacrosanct. My friends, Grenada is naturally endowed and widely recognized in every respect. I anticipate that we'll have a lot more visitors if we stay the course. I anticipate we have not seen yet the real success of this country. But it all depends on us. If we put more emphasis on the future of our children and grandchildren and less on our immediate circumstances, I think the sky is the limit. I genuinely believe this. So we have to emphasize the need to keep that infection rate down. I go around the country and I see what I call the relaxed nature of many of our people. Because, you know what? When I confront my brothers and sisters, oh God, Doc, we don't have nothing here. Why are you forcing us to do all this thing? But it only, and I'm not here now. Overnight, we could have a lot here. And we could be going out mourning the demise of our family and friends, and in some cases ourselves would be affected. We have seen cases where countries have been locked down, they opened up and business as usual, everybody fetting in a bar and jumping up and hugging each other and sweating. Boop. Trouble. And this idea of the young is immune, don't take it that way. We don't know yet. This is a new phenomenon. We don't know yet who is affected most. We don't know. We can't claim to know anything yet. Because when I took the vaccine, my left arm hurt me for a couple of days. And I felt a little tired, so I took it easy home for that period. My mother was 99, almost 99, very soon. God bless her. She took it. When I called her the next day worrying about her, she said, I don't even remember taking this thing. She had no effect whatsoever. So, Naquib, you okay, don't worry. My friends, finally, as Minister responsible for ICT, and more so as the lead Prime Minister in CARICOM region quasi-cabinet, responsible for science and technology, including ICT, I'm truly heartened to welcome this online learning opportunity for the workers in an industry that rests at the core of economic activity for most Caribbean islands. I applaud plans by the business partners to extend the availability of these courses to our brothers and sisters across the region in the not-too-distant future. As a region, we must continue to harness technology, the technology available, and to deploy it as a tool through which our people can achieve significant strides. There are dual opportunities here for young people who are seeking an entry point into the tourism and hospitality sector, and for workers who are already in the sector who are keen to further develop themselves. I am confident that our people will do well to embrace these opportunities. And as I close, I know every time I go to an activity of this nature, where tourism is going at the height of what is taking place, it reminds me just to recall the effort of Royston Hopkins, who I believe will be smiling down on us at this time. He will be saying to all of us, go for it. This is a special time and a special occasion for all of us throughout the length and breadth of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. I gave my fullest support and that of the government's full support to this initiative. And as we look forward to, as I said before, that vision of an educated society, healthy one, a productive one, and prosperity that goes with it. Thank you.